Welcome back, my dudes. Today I want to throw out some ideas I had about those big Hollywood-style wars that we see in movies all the time, and I wanted to be able to give that to my players. But it's not so easy because D&D is designed for this, but not this. What if we wanted to dip our toes in mass warfare just a little bit for some special part of our campaign? Well, I decided to give it a shot. I created a basic idea of a war. We have the castle defenses on one side, and then we have an invading orc army on the other. But first, I created a large map in wild shape and then imported it into Moat VTT. And then I took some advice from a little channel called Game&Paper, links in the description of the video I used, where he talks about grouping tokens. So I created groups for the castle guard and I created groups for the orc invading armies. I'd say they represent about 5 to 10 orcs or castle guard in each one. Now, while I like Game&Paper's ideas on grouping tokens, he goes a little complex on some of the ways it reacts to taking damage and dealing damage. So instead of using his exact system, I'm simply going to say that once a token goes bloody, we're just going to reduce the amount of damage that token can do in half. So now I have my field of combat, and I have all my tokens sitting there, and they're badass looking, standing there at the ready just to throw down. But a true great Hollywood-style war isn't just the front line, right? I mean, we like that point when they come together and they clash. That's not it. We need aerial. We need those big, booming aerial attacks where they're flying overhead and smashing into the bad guys and bodies are flying everywhere. So let's do that. For every turn, let's roll a d20. If the roll is 1 through 10, we're going to say that our side gets to use their catapult. And if the roll is 11 through 20, we're going to say that the other side, the orcish invading armies, gets to use their catapult. And just for a little bit extra flavor, let's make it to where a roll of 17 through 20 will actually target the players themselves, the ones that are visible to the catapult and the orc army. Now, however you decide to stat your catapults, your archers flying arrows across the battlefield, or your mages dropping meteors on the invading orcs, that's up to you and what you think your players can handle. So now we have a means to manage and control our armies on both sides, and we have those big flashy boomy attacks that just crash down on unsuspecting people just trying to survive. But war isn't just about the front lines, and it's not just about the aerial attacks, right? We also have to have some sort of tactical advantages that could be in play. So let's use some ideas from the DND where he talks about objectives and ways that the players can turn the tides in the favor of their armies. So whether you need to block that tunnel that they're trying to dig underneath the castle walls, or you're trying to destroy those catapults that are pummeling your front lines, or you're even trying to get behind the enemy lines and take out their general, plunging their whole army into chaos, try to give your players at least some of these options so that they can choose to do that if they don't want to jump in the front lines and stand shoulder to shoulder with their comrades and take on the orc armies hand to hand, face to face. And these objectives could modify the abilities of the invading army, whether it's to lower their hit points, to give them disadvantage, or even disable those catapults that are currently trashing your front line. But I like the idea that the players could choose to join the front line and really fight it out, or they could be sneaky and go alongside and try and get behind them and take out the general. Player choice is, after all, what D&D is about, so I think it would be an awesome way to run the encounter. They could even choose to split up, some of them taking on the front line and some of them trying to sneak behind and do some damage in more of a stealth mission. So that's my plan for next time I have to run a war situation in D&D. Have you ever done it yourself? Got any tips to share? And how did you manage it? How did you keep it straight and exciting, engaging all the time? Leave a comment below and let me know. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.